You need your standing point for sure. Sass, are you still in here?
Yes, I parked across the river to get a better
You should go to sleep.
the area through my binoculars. Now, will you tell the court, please, what you saw that night across the river through your binoculars?
In the context, that would be kind of taken kind of weird, but in this context, I'm with you.
I saw the decedent Amos Bryant.
I was just watching some guys that were just chilling there in the corner, and then they see that I'm looking, and I don't leave it. Go ahead.
Yes, over here.
All right then. Okay, so REM pod started. And the REM pod basically went off the entire time until you were like ripped out of the first part of the Estes.
No, literally, I'm not gonna lie. It scared the hell out of me because I really thought there was someone there. I really thought. I felt the energy.
Yeah. So while you were starting to go under, the spirit talker app said struggle, and then the bell went off. And then just as Mike started to give his introduction, the flashlight at your left foot went off. So the first name that came through was Circe Wood. She was 23 years old. When asked what year she passed or what year it was for her, all she said was 82. So as if that was 16, 17, 18, 82, I'm assuming probably 16. But like I said, it was just 82. She was burned at the stake. The app then just said all is well. When Mike asked if she was accused of being a witch, she said she actually was one, and then the bell went off. She was taught this by her mother and her grandmother, and she practiced daily. She was a good witch. And then the spirit app said no. Then she went on when Mike asked her about different witches. She said there are many different witches out there, but people just judge. Somebody who was a healer would be called a witch. And that's what she was. She was a healer. She was burnt at the stake, and because of that, it made her very angry because they turned on her, and then the bell went off. And then she said everyone that was there that day that watched and tossed a stick onto the fire, there was a curse stick that someone from every generation would die. And that curse is still running to this day. She had no kids. The spirit talker app then said friend. She was not married, but she had many boyfriends. The only message she had for everybody was don't judge. Then she asked Mike if he wanted help. Then she said it's getting cold there. Then she said for a wish, when he asked if there was other spirits to speak to, she said for a wish, and this wish would help him. Once in a while, in every legend in history, we get to choose, and I choose you, but you can say no. Mike turned it down. Spirit Talker app then said, watching you. Then she went on to say that the two people were watching. Be careful. They are observing behind the bush. And then you yelled, be gone, and pointed to your right. And then the bell went off. Then she said they were leaving. And then the spirit app said, we want to protect you. Then she said to Mike, thank you for the invitation, and that she was just trying to help him. You went into a shift at this point, and then immediately you said 2 times in a row, someone's here. And then that's when you were literally like ripped out of Estes. While you were checking your surroundings and dealing with stuff, the Spirit Talker app said books. And then when you were showing where you had felt somebody, you said, the app said, you should dig here. Then the bell went off, and then you went off to chase the person off. Then the Spirit Talker app said there is a reflection. And then the bell went off 2 times in a row, and the Spirit Talker app said left, and then the bell went off again. Then when you started to go back under a second time, the Spirit Talker app said hello, and then the flashlight by your left foot went off again, and then the bell went off again. So Nicole did some of this next one. The name that came through was Beatrix. Wanted to know how they could help Nicole, and then the bell went off. Then asked her if she wanted to know about her demon, and then wondered why she didn't want to know about it. And then the Spirit Talker app said, be wary of her. We got the age of 28 years old and a last name of either Della, Stella, or Bella. That hard consonant at the front I didn't catch.
Beatrice. Bama da said Beatrice. Beatrice.
Beatrice, yeah, Beatrix, Beatrice. When asked if this entity or spirit was a trickster, the reply was nonsense. Like the actual word, like nonsense. Then the bell went off again, and then the Spirit Talker app said Spanish donkey. And then she told Nicole that she was closed-minded. She needed to open her eyes and stop listening to the wrong people. Open your eyes. The bell went off. At this point, Nicole asked Mike to come back in. When asked how she died, she was stabbed in the heart by villagers, claimed that she was a witch but wasn't burned at the stake. When Mike asked why she wasn't burned at the stake like the other accused witches, she said she was stabbed because she had fangs. And the Spirit Talker app said, I lost one of my legs. She then confirmed that she had a limp. Her only regret was coming here to this place. She was born in Maryland. We did confirm her age again at 28 years old. The bell went off again. All of her family is from Maryland. They were gypsies, and she died in 1712. And then your alarm went off.
As that's my privilege. As a golf pro, Mr. Gilbert, let me ask you something.
So I think Serene did some research, see if any of the names came up, and I guess they didn't. So I guess none of the witches that pertain here came through. Something else came through. So, we never know what's going to come through, basically. Sometimes we get good stuff, sometimes we get bad stuff. It is what it is.
I mean, whatever came through, regardless of they're here or not, I'm sure that's what brought you out of Estes like that.
Now, again, there is no way in hell I could hear any of you guys, as I showed many, many, many times. So if anybody's here that is saying that, maybe is fake, whatever, I welcome you to join me in one of my lives and try it yourself, like everybody else has in the past. And then they're like, oh, you know what I mean? You're more than welcome. Everybody could be a skeptic, but just come and join me. That's all I'm asking. And try it yourself.
Agreed.
Period.
That's right, Spirit. Period.
And period.
Yeah,
All right,
it's
Bubba.
by being in the chat and telling people like ask this question or whatever. But when you're in the box and you're doing it, it's definitely different. I definitely got shook for a minute, so I had to ask Mike to come up.
Well, it feels. That's.
My name is Helen.
That's Kansas. What am I having Kansas? I'm here in Salem, Massachusetts. I'm looking out for the weather. How cold is it? And it is. How cold is it, anyways? It is 52 degrees. No, mamen. Well, you guys did great. We had one person that was a little rude, and they got taken care of. So, I did warn. No rudeness to anyone. Sometimes we do get people, like, how many times? It's been a couple, I will say good 80% of the time we do get like cool cases and names that actually came through and stuff like that. And sometimes it's just random people that nobody knows about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
There's floaters everywhere.
Right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, jumping down.
All right.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
Thank
much.
you,
guys.
everybody.
You guys did a
Thank you,
great
thank you,
job.
thank
You
you.
did a
You guys
great
have a
job.
great rest of your night.
Love you guys. You too. I'm
right,
gonna try to
love
stay
you guys.
awake.
Thank you.
No guarantees, but I'll
I'm
try to
heading
stay
off
awake.
to bed.
You're gonna prove you're
Good
here.
night, guys.
Good
All right,
night,
Aaron.
guys.
See
Good
you.
night.
See you, Nicole.